Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program where I ask the question, Whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? I'm your host, Brian Thompson. Before I address this week's McDonald's pizza matters at hand, I would like to remind those who are not aware that I am delivering a rare, live, in-person lecture on McDonald's pizza at one of the Boston colleges, Boston College, on Wednesday, March 29th. As the name of the college implies, this event is taking place in the vicinity of Boston, Massachusetts. As a gift to the community, this lecture is free and open to the public. However, seating is somewhat limited. To reserve your tickets, please visit pizzainboston.eventbrite.com. I look forward to educating you. Now, I will address this week's McDonald's pizza matters at hand. As longtime listeners know, I am not just an impartial journalist when it comes to said matters. I am also an activist. There is a long tradition of such hyphenates in my field. For example, the investigative journalist Upton Sinclair, in his book The Jungle, did not simply report on the conditions of American meat processing plants, but advocated for their improvement by creating a list of ways we should be nicer to the animals whose bodies we tear apart and eat. My activism has taken several forms over the years, but the goal is always the same: the return of original recipe pizza to the McDonald's menu. One avenue I have pursued in the past is attempting to purchase the McDonald's Corporation itself and using my newfound powers as owner to declare myself CEO and mandate pizza be brought back, or else I will terminate the employment of all of my underlings. One problem with this plan is that the McDonald's Corporation is not for sale. Another problem is that even if it were for sale, the price tag would be quite high. Even though I make a yearly income in the mid-triple digits from sales of my best-selling book, How to Be an Investigative Journalist, and the second edition of my board game, Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's the Board Game, which is now called the board game adaptation of an investigative journalism program about fast food pizza and is available on the GameCrafter.com. I am somewhat short on metaphorically liquid funds due to my having to pay for the creation of my Pulitzer Prize. Not that I regret allocating my funds in this way, since the Pulitzer is quite a prestigious surprise and will look very nice on display in my home when it arrives in what I am told will be 6 to 8 months. But the fact remains that I do not have the resources to purchase the entire McDonald's Corporation for the thousands of dollars it surely would cost. But this week, I became aware of a somewhat similar but slightly more achievable path to McDonald's Pizza's restoration. Most are probably aware of the franchise organization of McDonald's. Rather than owning and operating each individual restaurant, the McDonald's company allows local business people to purchase and operate their own stores under the terms of a franchise agreement. To maintain a sense of consistency across the entire brand, these terms are somewhat strict. Franchisees must serve hamburgers that look and taste the same as those served at locations worldwide. If McDonald's launches a new product line, such as their McCafe coffee offerings, franchisees must all purchase the same coffee makers. And each franchise owner is forced, under the terms of their agreement, to make sure the walls of their restrooms feature the exact same number of streaks of human feces. And for the past several years at least, one of these terms has been a total ban on serving original recipe McDonald's pizza. The reason why this ban has been put in place is one of the key subjects of my journalistic endeavors. But one of the many spurious excuses offered by the McDonald's Corporation is that menu offerings must remain consistent at all of their restaurants. However, I believe I may have discovered a loophole in this policy. Anyone who is familiar with legal paperwork, such as franchise agreements, knows that these agreements are not considered legally binding until they are signed by both parties involved. As soon as a franchisee writes their name on the proverbial dotted line, they are bound by whatever draconian terms may be contained therein. But what if a franchisee, in an act that could never be proven in a court of law to have resulted from anything other than an innocent oversight, were to sign someone else's name? By the time the matter is discovered and sorted out, I believe it may be possible for said franchisee to have instituted all manner of non-corporate approved policies at their individual McDonald's location, up to and including the assembling, baking, and serving of original recipe pizza. If so, then by the time the powers that be at McDonald's force the franchisee to erase the wrong name from their agreement and sign their real name instead, the public will already have had enough time to try the pizza and develop a taste for it. McDonald's would then have a public relations nightmare on their figurative hands, for they would not be able to remove the pizza without facing mass protests, political violence, or even extremely hurtful tweets. The only obstacle to my purchasing a McDonald's franchise of my own and attempting my faulty signature scheme is my aforementioned funds situation. I simply do not have enough money to buy a McDonald's. Thankfully, I learned this week of an alternative McDonald's franchise purchasing currency to actual currency. Oklahoma Representative Kevin Hern, a member of the United States Congress, posted quite an interesting post to his social media. Featuring a photograph of himself standing in front of the McDonald's Golden Arches, the post reads as follows, and I quote, "After the Challenger tragically exploded, my dreams of becoming an astronaut were cut short. But I did what I had to do, including hog farming, to purchase my first McDonald's in 1997. Today, I am honored to represent Oklahoma in the U.S. Congress. Never, ever give up." Unquote. Putting aside the fact that this command to never ever give up could easily have included a simple please, I believe this post provides some very useful information vis-a-vis my goal of purchasing a McDonald's franchise. For background, the Challenger explosion mentioned by Representative Hern is the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1986. At the time, Representative Hern was pursuing a PhD in astronautical engineering, but he dropped out of the program after the disaster. Naturally, he pivoted to owning a McDonald's franchise, which, intriguingly, he says he earned through farming hogs. In a way, it makes sense that a McDonald's restaurant could be purchased with hogs instead of traditional money. After all, many McDonald's products are made of hog, including their breakfast sausage patties, their Canadian bacon, and almost 1% of their McRibs. Admittedly, I know very little about farming hogs myself, but I assume learning the craft will come rather easily after watching a few YouTube videos. But if I am to purchase a McDonald's with my farmed hogs, I first need to obtain the hogs in question. Thankfully, being animals, hogs are somewhat less intellectually capable than a human being such as myself, and therefore susceptible to being tricked into entering a trap. I simply have to tie a string to a stick and use said stick to prop up a hog-sized box. When a hog wanders underneath the box, I will pull the string, thereby releasing the stick and trapping the hog underneath the box. After a few weeks of this activity, I should have a large enough population of trapped hogs to start my own hog farm. Then I will be well on my way to owning a McDonald's. Now, all I need is some appropriate hog bait. Hello. Is this the feed store?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. I was just calling to see if you had any slop in stock.
Last
Slop?
swap. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. I was just calling to see if you had any slop in stock.
Swap?
Slop.
No.
Oh, okay. Do you know where I could purchase some?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi there. Thank you for calling Cincinnati Feed and Encino. How can I help you out today?
Hello. I was just wondering if you had any slop in stock.
Sorry, let me get that one more time.
Slop? For a
Slop?
hog. Yes, slop.
No, I don't, unfortunately. I mostly just have dog and cat stuff. I
Oh,
don't have
really?
anything for hogs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know where I might be able to purchase some slop?
I honestly am not sure. The ones I know, there's Red Barn that has a couple more like feed for other animals, but I'm not sure if that's something they would carry.
I see. Well, I did find a place online called the Slop Shop. It says it's your one-stop shop for slop, but they seem to be permanently closed.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure where else around here then, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help.
Of course. Sorry about that. Have a good day.
You too. Goodbye.
Supers, may I help you?
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson. I was just calling to see if you had any slop in stock.
No, I don't have that.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything else that would be a good feed for a hog?
I have potbelly pig food. That's all I have.
Oh, pot-bellied pig. What's the difference between a
Yeah.
pot-bellied pig and a hog?
Well, the potbelly pigs are the little miniature ones, the little tiny ones.
Okay.
And yeah, but
So
they're
just-
both. Let me help this customer, and then I'll get right back on the phone with you because I'm going to check in my computer what I have.
Okay, no problem whatsoever. Thank you.
Hold on. Hello?
Hello.
We just have the potbelly pig food.
Okay, and what does that consist of?
I don't know what's in it, but it's just we have Kelly's potbelly pig maintenance.
Maintenance.
I have no. Yeah, I don't know what would be in it though because it's out back and I'm cashiering.
I understand. Well, can I explain my situation to you and maybe you could give me some advice?
Okay.
I am going to be setting several hog traps, and I was just looking for something to bait them, something that a hog might find alluring.
That I wouldn't know. Maybe Google it, and maybe you can, on the computer, ask, or ask your phone. Maybe they'll come up with something.
Well,
that I don't know.
Well, I asked my phone and my computer, and they seem to say that that hogs like slop, but I don't know what slop really is,
Just
technically
like garbage
speaking.
and stuff, like garbage.
Garbage.
Like
Okay.
lettuce and leftovers. I mean, like your vegetables and stuff like that. I think that's what they're talking about. I don't know. I don't know if there's I don't know. That I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
do you think that might work as bait? Just some garbage?
Or put lettuce like leftovers, like your vegetables and stuff like that.
Oh, very interesting.
You could try. Yeah,
Okay.
because pigs eat most anything.
And I could obtain that pretty much for free.
Yes. Yes. Well, try that and just let us know how it works out. I'm curious.
Oh, okay. I will.
Okay.
I will call back. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And now, a word from our sponsor. It is a problem faced by every successful hog farmer. You hire employees to harvest your hogs, and after only a few short years harvesting, they put in their 2 weeks' notice due to emotional distress. Now who will harvest your hogs? With ZipRecruiter, you need not worry. Not only will ZipRecruiter find you a new hog harvester in no time at all, but their scientifically tested recruitment tools will ensure that your new employee is 100% immune to emotional distress. Imagine the peace of mind you will enjoy knowing that your harvester can kill, and kill again without feeling a thing. ZipRecruiter. Harvest your hogs. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. To support the show, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/pizza@mcd's for exclusive benefits. And for more information, including important announcements, useful links, etc., visit pizza@mcdonalds.com. Thank you to my invaluable Patreon producers: David Friedman, Grant Bacon, Isabella Zelaskowski, Jacob Ford, Joe Kachik, Kimberly King, Kyle Tarak, Pam Gabriel, Troy Babs, Will, Andrew Duffy, Andrew Ahmed Johnson Rubin, Billy Jean, Brad Allen Thompson, Felix Dooley, Feral Housecat, Gerald Lewis, Swamp Rat Maplethorpe, Jay Poop, Calvin Thomas, Kat Resney, Kim Pottlesnick, Laurel Paul, Mel, Mitchell Kordick, Opus Mareshi, Polly Egan, Dan Dreyer, Nicole Besta, and Ryan Guggenmoss. I'm Brian Thompson, investigative journalist.